Hello my fellow veterans and welcome to Veterans Advice Hub. My name is Bill Kelly and today I'd like to talk to you about the difference between a service dog and an emotional support dog. These are two different programs that have very different specifics involved with them. So a service dog is a specially trained animal that is recognized through the American with Disabilities Act for public accommodation. It is recognized for housing accommodation through the Fair Housing Act and is recognized for flight accommodations and aircraft access through the Air Carrier Access Act. Additionally, a service dog is specifically trained to provide tasks or to do particular things that directly support the disabled person, or in this case, veteran. The VA will support veterinary care for a designated service animal if it is prescribed as part of the overall health care of the veteran, and the process has the administrative process has been gone through. You have to do the paperwork with the VA, but the short version is the VA will support veterinary care for a service dog. Emotional support animals are a little bit different. They too can be prescribed by a doctor, but the scope of what they are allowed to do in terms of access is limited. They are not supported or recognized under the American with Disabilities Act for public accommodation, meaning that an emotional support animal is not one that automatically gives you a right to enter a public place if there are no animals allowed to the rest of the general public. You do have protections under the Fair Housing Act. Emotional support animals are specifically addressed there, and they are also addressed with airlines and aircraft travel through the Air Carrier Access Act. Service dogs are trained working dogs. Emotional support dogs are pets whose value is the emotional support they provide by simply being present, that calming effect. So a distinction between the two of them: emotional support animals are considered pets and are not considered active working dogs, and so that's the fundamental difference when it comes to public access and some other limitations on accommodation. From the VA's perspective, at least for right now, they don't recognize emotional support animals and they don't provide veterinary care for those animals, only the service dogs. Another item to address is the use of service dog and an emotional support animal vests on the dogs themselves. There doesn't seem to be any national standard for that. I couldn't find one, but I would caution against putting that on the family pet and trying to pass off your dog as either an emotional support animal or a service dog. First off, service dogs have to be specifically trained, and in either case you need a specific prescription for that animal as part of your overall health care to be considered either a service dog or an emotional support dog. Many states have legislation on the books where it's illegal to actually fake use of a service dog. New Hampshire has one of these laws on the books, and Massachusetts has a law pending. So it's just not something I would recommend that you do. If you feel you need one of these animals as part of your overall healthcare regime, then the best way to do it is to talk to your healthcare provider about it and get it prescribed through proper channels. But you just wanting to be able to take your dog wherever you want to go and slapping a vest on him is not the way to do it. In the comments section below, I will have some resources that are available and some national level organizations where you could do further research on how to actually get yourself a dog. And hopefully if you need one, you'll be able to find what you need through some of these nonprofit groups. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you for your service.